When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Skims or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/income.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, hello, and welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Riffs, where Toby's opened the aperture on a Bell's Two Hearted IPA, and he seems very happy about such things, because I feel like it's letting a little bit of the light in for you, Toby. In fact, you've got a nice haze from the window behind you, casting you in an angelic glow, so I appreciate you being on brand for today's song and artist. I'm excited to get into it. Do you want to tell the good... Well, no. What's on your mind, Toby? Talk to me.
I am in a good mood because it's happy hour, Joe.
It is happy hour.
It's happy hour right now, and I know that we're not in the same city, but you know what this kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of when we used to record.
Yeah.
You know, and then we would just go for a drink afterwards. And then it was like, hey.
You mean go for a drink beforehand?
Before.
And then record.
and then come. Man, those were the days.
But only one, because pregame you have to be.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be slipping over your tongue.
No. And Lord knows we've done that. Well, I'll speak for myself. Lord knows I've done that too many times. But I can, this is happy hour. I think it's a good time for us to be happy, of course. Cheers, wherever you're sitting, whatever beverage you have in your hand, raise it up. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, I think we should talk about other happy things and...
Happy, Harry, whatever.
Happy,
just
Harry,
same letters.
Same thing. Yeah, flip a couple letters. It's all good. Harry Styles, he's got a new song, a new album. Album is called Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. And
I think that's solid advice, personally.
Yeah, I think it's great. It just makes so much sense. I think it makes so much
because you don't want to overdo the discoing, but kissing, sure, why not? That's okay. You can do that all the time.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I totally think it's fine. Aperture is the name of the song.
Yeah.
His first single from this album. Wow. Harry just never disappoints, man. Very rarely does he disappoint me. And I'm not saying, and I want to be clear, I'm not a Harry Styles, avid fan. I'm not that guy, but man, I just respect his artistry so much. I think he can really sing. I think that his songs, the lyric aspect of his songs, I think is pretty cool. And I just feel like he's the one, if it's name some of the best writers of yesteryear, and, they're sitting on their porch and they're just talking to their grandkids, it's like, man, they just don't write songs like they used to. People ain't singing like they used to. You can listen to Harry, watch him perform, know that he feels it, and be like, you know what? I can go in peace because music is in good hands with cats like this.
Amen. Episode done. Couldn't agree more.
We got much more to talk about.
Oh, wait. Oh, we have to keep going? I'm a little surprised because he's been around, obviously, since they were literally kids. I mean, he's only 32. He's a young pup. He's a young man, not a pup. But, I mean, he's not somber young, but he's still, 32. Like, there's a whole...
Well, you got One Direction. You got to count those years. I mean, this dude is, if you count
he's lived
entertainment
many
years,
lives.
Yeah. In entertainment years, this dude is probably 75
That's
years
actually a really
old.
good point. Yeah.
So he's seen some of everything. This dude's been on movies. He's been on tours. Dude's was on crazy tours of One Direction, ended up going solo. One of the only ones, if the only one really, that is successful without the group.
I don't know about that.
Who else?
I feel like they've all...
have they?
I mean, Zayn.
Zayn is nice. Zayn is nice.
I'm not saying they're at this exact same level.
That's what I'm trying to say. Not the same level. Like, he's
but
doing
I wouldn't
it
say
the best.
any of them are unsuccessful. And one tragically passed away. So, I mean, there is...
Well, yeah, well, of course.
Yeah.
And God bless the dead. So that was very... that was surprising. I didn't see... It's a shame.
And I think
it's tragic.
I think it affected Harry a lot, as you might imagine, right? You lose a brother like that, and it's gonna take you down for a little while. But first of all, I just want to say he sounds like royalty. His name is actually Harry Edward Styles. Like, he should be a prince somewhere. Probably is.
Mm-hmm.
Lord knows he can do better than some of the ones that are. Well,
and then there's that. Too late. That was good.
Too late. But, you alluded to the whole One Direction thing. Starting out in X Factor. I didn't realize because, I wasn't paying a ton of attention when they were formed, but apparently they all went and auditioned individually. And then Simon Cowell was like, you know what? You guys aren't good, but if I put you together, then you'll have something. And so he was kind of the one that formed the band, and then they actually didn't win X Factor. I think they were runner-up or something, but obviously that did not impact their careers because they took the world by storm. Lots of number one albums. Harry was already co-writing, some of those tracks, or writing a lot of those tracks back in the day. And I think that's always interesting when you start to hone your craft at that age. And then you can tell he's just sort of continued to evolve. And it's interesting. I couldn't tell you what Harry's style. Oh, that's funny. Actually is, but you know it when you hear it. But I'm struggling to define because he moves stuff around enough, but there's still things that are very recognizable. But I can't point to it and say, oh, that's something that he does or whatever. I don't know. Is there anything that you would point to and say, yeah, that sounds like Harry?
He's just free, dude. He's free. I mean, he
is now.
His music sounds very, really, really free. Now, granted, I haven't just gone through and listened to all of his.
That bourbon got me, Toby. Got me. Just jumped right up and bit me.
Oh my.
We're going to be cutting that for the record.
Or not. I was like, was something I said? What happened? Ladies
and gentlemen, we're back after Joe just had a bit of a bourbon accident.
Oh my goodness!
I think we're okay.
If you weren't here, just in the event that Joe cuts it, let me just walk you through what happened. I'm in the middle of explaining something about Harry, my opinion, and if any of you've watched that. Anyone play the game? It's a video game back in the day. It's called Mike Tyson's Punch Out. And there was a dude. There's a cat in there. Our hero's name was Little Mac. Little Mac, when you got a star, you had a humongous uppercut and it just hit whoever his opponent was, just knock him flat on his back. That is what the cup of bourbon did to Joe right now.
It
did. Got Little Mac.
And then I looked like, I think it was Bald Bull. I was like,
yeah, like... That is fantastic.
Sorry for people on the podcast that can't see the face I just made, but
my God, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. All right.
Okay. This is why we have video versions of this.
This is why we have video versions. This is it for the moments like that. Yeah,
What were we talking about? I don't even know.
we're talking about his style, what
His sound,
genre,
yeah.
it's his sound. I mean, like I said, it's free. It's a free. It's very free flowing. Like I'm looking at I always like to look at song structure, like as far as like the lyrics are concerned, and everybody does. Some people do the verse, to start this, or I'm sorry, some people do the verse to start the song. Other people do the chorus to start the song.
Yeah.
And then, kind of goes from there. Then it's just, A, B, whatever, C.
Throw in a C once in a while.
Yeah.
Get a little crazy.
But this dude.
I'm going to try a sip again, Toby. Hold on. Let's
please.
see if I can do it. Go ahead.
This dude did verse 1 and verse 2 essentially back to back, and then had a pre-chorus and then a chorus. And it's just an interesting way of doing it. And so he's free from like subscribing to like a lot of the other conventions. And I just love the artistry. You got to respect it. The song is good. And here's the other thing too. Lyrically.
So good.
Lyrically, this dude is saying things that you don't hear in other songs. I just don't hear, like, not the way he's phrasing it and not what he's actually saying. I don't hear it like that in other songs. Maybe it's just me.
I feel like it's when you take rhymes from a hip hop artist and you take them to the lab, or any Kendrick song where you got to spend 12 years to understand what the hell he's actually saying, right? Yeah.
13. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Harry's got a little bit of that going on. Like, you don't quite know what he's saying. You get the gist of what he's saying, but you can interpret it in so many different ways. But I think it all kind of ends up with the same vibe. So you might interpret it one way and I might interpret it another, but we'd probably land pretty close. I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit, it's a little obfuscated, a little esoteric, right? He's not exactly, you say this all the time, right? On the show, you're like, you start with this, and if I can hear the rhyme, when I hear the rhyme coming next, I'm already out because it's boring. I don't think you get that with Harry at all. I don't think anything he does is boring. I mean, I like it, but it's not boring.
No, it's not. It's not predictable. I mean, in that pre-chorus, his line is, "It's best you know what you don't. Aperture lets the light in. It's best you know what you don't." That is,
you got to think about that.
That is, that's crazy. That is vulnerability on another level. And I think that's what stood out to me the most. And like I was reading an article about this song and why he wrote it and what the meaning was. He wrote this song last. And he, which I thought was also interesting. You wrote it last, and yet it's the first single that you're releasing. To me, that says a lot. Like, I know you love the other songs. I know you had to love it. But to end this journey, because we've all done albums before, and trust me, when you get done with that last song, like, oh my God.
Right?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is it done? We're done? We're done, y'all. We are done. You are such a feeling of just release, and now you just want to share it with everyone. But for him, sometimes that last song is not necessary. I've never had it where that last song is the first single that I'm going to release. I've never had that feeling. I've never done that. Not like that.
I kind of wonder, because I do feel like that doesn't happen often, but it happens. Well, you'll hear a band who, back in the day, record company would be like, I don't hear a single, and they'd have to go back and like whip something out, or they held one back and it would get released, and maybe the band didn't even like it, but it became a big hit. But to your point, I don't think as an artist that often happens where you're like, but I could see with this song in particular how it was kind of cathartic. He worked through this whole album, because it seems like this album in general might have been that. And even that line, what is it again? Like it's best you know what you don't know. And I think this song is such a personal song. So it's sort of like, you got to look inside it yourself. Those things you don't know, you got to figure it out. And it's best you know those things, because they're only going to help you be the best version of yourself and authentic and all of that moving forward. So maybe all the other stuff had to come out before he could actually get down and write this song. Maybe. I haven't talked to him, but I wouldn't be surprised.
The other thing I like about it is it's not really wordy. It's not a wordy song. It's just to the point. It's there. Take no prisoners for me. I'm told you're elevating. Drinks go straight to my knees. I'm sold. I'm going on clean. That's basically the first verse, ladies, gentlemen. That's it. That's it. And there are a lot of things that you can take from that. Is he talking about sobriety? Is he talking about drugs? Is he talking about, I mean, is he talking to himself? Is he talking about, what are we doing? And it gets weirder when you watch the video.
Oh my God, that video is like, what is happening?
Listen,
right? It is beautifully shot. I love the visuals of that video are amazing. You just stare at it. You're like, this is so well done. The color grading, the framing, like it's just a great video.
It's fantastic.
I don't know what the hell it means. I have no idea what it means.
I'm still trying to figure it out. It was one of those videos I started and I had to watch till the end, like what is going on? And then I rewatched it. And here's the thing that stuck out to me. And it's not the first time this has happened in other, but to me, it's just cool. It's like, so he's on the phone.
Cool.
It's just cool. Everything's really intentional and yet artistic, right? Really, really artistic. Like, so he makes the phone call in the beginning and that phone ringing is on beat with the song that fades in. When it goes down to click on the bell, that bell
cuts. Yes.
I'm like, and you can hear like the door closing and stuff like that. All of that is like syncopated. So none of it is out. None of it feels out of place, but you almost feel like you're in the room because you hear the door close. You hear the phone him hanging up the phone. You hear all of that stuff. And it's like, that kind of blew me away. I was like, okay, Harry, I'm with you. What are we doing? We're chasing each other? Is that what we're doing? We're running? We're running now. Got it.
I still
falling
feel
downstairs.
Like it's a metaphor for whatever he's dealing with inside or something. I don't know. It's interesting you brought up the word clean. I have no idea. I don't get the sense. I have no idea whether it has anything to do with drugs, alcohol, whatever. But I know what he had said in his One Direction days, it's a boy band. You've got to sign all the contracts. And I think, I think all of the current bands are doing the same thing, all the K-pop bands specifically. But, sign a contract saying, taking an oath to clean living and things like that, right? Because you're the product. I mean, I guess it's no different than a professional athlete saying, I'm not going to go race motor cars, in the off season, right? Like, and he's also talked about kind of that struggle with social media and just not wanting to live your life in public and all of that, and not really being active in that scene. And I think he said when he either started his record company or signed his first contract out as a solo artist, and it was his first time to not have those stipulations. I think he said he literally cried. He was just like, I can live my life the way I want to live my life without having, being part of this product or ecosystem that has to be done a certain way and you can't do certain things and you're always under the microscope. And look, it's not like he's not always under the microscope now, but at least he's in control of what that looks like and what he chooses or doesn't choose to do. So I wonder if that's part of it, is just that allusion to previous lives and like, I'm working through stuff. And I'm opening the aperture. I'm opening it's not specifically a camera, but light in general. Because I think he said, I don't want people to get hung up on the photography correlation. It's more about just what that represents. Like, how are you letting the light in your life? How are you opening yourself up? And whether that's to internal learning or other experiences. Did you read about his trip to the German club?
I did not. Please enlighten.
So apparently he moved to Berlin for a while, and he was listening to a lot of LCD Sound System, which it's one of those bands that I know of, but I have to apparently go back and do a deep dive into their catalog, because apparently it was a pretty big inspiration for him and for this album specifically. But there's a club in Berlin, and I don't remember the name. It's like it's probably got lots of German whatever, Bergen, whatever. But I guess it's all concrete. I guess you can't get in. You have to leave your phone at the door. People have died there. It's like, club beyond clubs. with a rich and sordid history. And so I guess he went there. I guess there's video of him. I think there's like a 60%, like you don't get in refusal rate of admittance. And so he's just hanging out there with the riffraff, like they're not letting him in. So he's just hanging out in the queue, which I think is hilarious that Harry Styles goes to any club and the bouncers are like, I don't know. Yeah, you're good.
That's nuts.
But that's stuff that he couldn't do back in the day, right? This
sure.
Apparently iconic club where lots of behavior happens, and not even insinuating that he was partaking in any of that, but just to be able to say, I want to go check this out. I want to see what that's like, and I don't know, just have that experience. And I couldn't do that for most of my life. I don't know. I wonder if that's what a lot of that opening that he references in the song is about.
It could be. Like I said, as you said and said very well, we don't know. We don't know. All we can do is just have conjecture. But one thing I do know is that the aperture is, leading to light. And he was happy about that freedom. And I think we can all speak about that. It is a wonderful thing to have connection with other people. I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, if you have a good day, having a good day just gets better when you're able to share it with somebody else. Like, man, I had a really good day. Let me tell you about it. Okay, I got you. And sometimes those stories, or a lot of times those stories will change my bad day to having a good day. Like, man, I'm just happy for you, dude. I'm just happy for you. That's fantastic. And then I think, so we talk about the connection with other people, but man, there is that connection with yourself. And I think which is even more special, because I think that can lead to a different type of sharing, just a different type of sharing with other people. And I truly feel like more people need to be on that path, and it's going to look different for different people depending on what situation that you're in. But I love the way that this dude, who's very recognizable, very famous, can literally do a lot of things that other people cannot. And he's talking about him feeling free and then wanting to share that with other people. I think that is beautiful. Anytime where a singer makes you run to the dictionary to look up what the hell aperture means, that's good. It's good. That's a good feeling. Expand our vocabulary, man. Expand it. I love it.
So let's pull some quotes from Harry about this song specifically.
Please.
Because he referenced it being the last song he made, and he said, "It's why I think Aperture felt like the perfect start to me. You can move forward when you acknowledge the things you don't know, and therefore give yourself the space to let the light come in." And then I think the other interesting thing is being able to look at myself and actually just grow up a little bit and take responsibility for places in my life where maybe it was my fault, and that just freed me up from so much. And I don't know that we always think about that freedom that comes with owning up to things or owning up to mistakes. We spend so much time running from them or ignoring them or not wanting to think about them happening. But that moment where you're like, yeah, no, that was my bad. Like that can open up so much and be so freeing. And how many people do we know in our lives, Toby, that will never, ever do that?
Too many, Joe. Too many. And it is a freeing thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I'll say. That's one thing that I love about our friendship, because we've known each other for a little bit now. We've known each other for a little bit. Close to 10
damn near
years.
A decade, yeah.
Yeah, damn near. So it's close to 10 years. And I will say this is like, just because of how we are, we can talk about the times before we met, or even times, during the times we've known each other. And I, talk about mistakes that we made, like, probably I shouldn't have done that. That was dumb. That was my bad. And not have to worry about being judged. It's like, yeah, as we always say, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made.
And what we try not to do is follow that up with, for shame.
For shame. For shame. Yeah, mistakes were made. And that I truly feel like that's what makes us human. It's what makes growth possible. Acknowledging the mistakes and going from there. There's a guy, his name is Jacob Brown. He's a motivational speaker, thought leader in this area. And he has a saying about failing. He said you should fail forward, almost like like football. If you're going to catch the ball, you want to get the most yards you can.
Gotta lean. You gotta get that lean. Yeah.
If you're going to fail forward. Learn as many lessons as you can on the way down. Let's get it. Let's take advantage of, where you're at. So
we just ran a workshop, and I can't name the client, but it was a lot about what Amy Edmondson, who's done a ton of work on psych safety, has a whole framework called intelligent failure. And there's 4 things specifically. I'm not going to get into all that, but what we've always thought about or talked about is don't call it failure, because failure implies you're done.
Right.
And I mean, look, if it actually is the end result and whatever, okay, maybe. But as long as you keep failing, then that means you're still learning something. And so, we kind of changed it to intelligent failing, because it's exactly what you said. We're failing forward. Just because things didn't work the way we expected doesn't mean we didn't learn something from it. Something good didn't. Maybe even something bad came from it, and you're like, nah, okay, but I learned not to do that again, or I can pivot in a different direction, or whatever. So I love that, and I do love that that very visual analogy, because you see those players just contorting in the weirdest ways to try and get an extra 3 inches and get that ball over the whatever.
Yeah. I think it's this guy named APJ Abdul Kalam.
Okay.
He has a saying, fail, FAIL, stands for first attempt in learning. And I think that is just so apropos. I think it's and that was the one thing I would say. I learned that a while back. And, of course, sometimes you forget some of the lessons that you needed to learn. But man, when I figured that out, like when I've grown the most, when I haven't been afraid of that failing, like I haven't been afraid of that no. Like I learned the most during that time. It's like, all right, you got me. Cool. I'm going to ask you anyway. Hey, does this seem like a product that you would like? No? Well, let's talk about it. Like, why not? Like, didn't you like this face? I mean, what happened? What you like? I wore these socks just for you.
The Braswell chin, as you referenced earlier.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Yeah, let's go. But I feel like sales actually begins with the no. To me, I think sales, like real sales skills, begins with the no, because otherwise it's just kind of transactional. Hey, do you want this? Yes, I want it. Okay, great. Boom, done deal. But the skills actually begin with the no. And I used to think everything is sales, but now I'm thinking everything is connection. And I've learned so much from my no's, from the no's that I've received in business, and in life. I have learned so much, and there have been some no's that I'm actually, in hindsight, so thankful for the no's that I've received, because it's kept me from stuff that wasn't really for me. It helped. Not everything is going to be for you. Not everything is going to be an aperture into, the light.
Sometimes that aperture closes, and then you're letting no light in. So
So
you got to struggle to just pry that back open.
Yes.
Other interesting thing about that video, he did those stunts. I guess it took him 6 hours. Yeah, to film that whole falling down because that looks painful, falling down those steps.
Dude. So painful.
But I guess, maybe at 32, your bruises heal a little bit quicker.
I guess. Well, he's wearing a pretty long coat, so I hope he had some Charmin packed up in there, because that looked very, very painful indeed. No, I respect that, and I respect the artistry. Like I said, I like him. He's always one person. Like I said, I'm not an avid Harry Styles listener, But I am a person that will pay attention, and he's a cat that, like, if he's come out with something, I want to pay attention. And he's got some songs that I listen to and I jam. Every time I listen to it, it's like, yep, it's a jam. In the car, don't matter, turning it up, and we're going. We're going. You know,
For sure.
Might take another loop around the block, you know, just so I can hear the full song.
This episode of Riffs on Riffs is brought to you by DistroKid, your ultimate partner for taking your music to the next level.
With DistroKid, uploading your songs or albums to online stores and streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music is easier than ever. Plus, you can easily pay your collaborators with splits and send large files securely to anyone with Instant Share.
And guess what else? You can get a YouTube official artist channel for free via DistroKid. You can send credits to stores, and you can use Hyperfollow to promote your release.
DistroKid has everything you need to succeed in the digital music landscape.
But that's not all. DistroKid now offers a convenient mobile experience with the DistroKid app, available on iOS and Android.
With the app, you can manage your releases, track your streaming stats, and even withdraw your earnings, all from the palm of your hand. And for the artists looking to perfect their sound, there's Mixia. With Mixia, you can put the finishing touches on your tracks in minutes, ensuring they sound polished and professional every time.
And if you need to share large files securely with collaborators, producers, or playlist curators, look no further than Instant Share. It's free to send up to 1 gigabyte of files, and your music will stream at the highest quality, making the best impression possible.
So why wait? Elevate your music career today with DistroKid and unlock a world of possibilities.
Riffs on Riffs listeners get 30% off their first year at DistroKid by going to distrokid.com/VIP/riffsonriffs.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
Are you a David Bowie fan at all?
No, not really. I appreciate all that he's done. I appreciate the artistry, but no, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, same. Same. And I know we did an episode in the catalog which talked about some of the problematic things, but whatever. Apparently there's a big connection between, like, I guess Bowie went to Berlin, recorded in the exact same studio, was basically going through his own sort of existential crisis in the similar way. That's where he recorded Low in 77 and Heroes. And essentially Harry did the same thing. He moved there to escape kind of fame, to find joy. And so I think it's interesting because I wouldn't ever say they sound the same, but I think you can absolutely see a direct through line between Bowie. I'm thinking like a Bowie knife. Bowie and Harry, just as icons, as stars, as crossing over into all the genres in all the ways. So it's interesting to me, that parallel, and I'm sure it was intentional in some way. Like, I don't know if that's a huge influence for Harry, but it would make sense that it would be. So I just thought that was fascinating.
Yeah, that is fascinating.
Like, if you were going to go record, if you were going to pick a studio that you were like, this album and this artist recorded here, where would it be, Tom?
It's funny you just mentioned that, because I was looking up. It actually, at least to this other question I was going to ask you, like, do you believe in the power of a vibe, right? Like
100%.
That's like beyond you, beyond what you can see. I believe that the vibe is like this marinade, right? That if you are open to it, that you can soak some of that up and make some of the most amazing stuff. So I would say like Electric Lady Studios or like the Hit Factory, like those, like,
yeah,
put me there. Like, unless I am just intimidated beyond measure because of all the greatness that has walked through those doors, I fully expect something amazing to come out of that, because you're talking some of the biggest names ever
yeah,
have all recorded there. And that I want to be I just want to be a cutlet, a meat cutlet in the marinade. I want to be a cutlet.
It's a little, yeah. Okay. All right. I want to be a full bone-in ribeye, my friend.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's just so. Yeah, so I think those would be some great places to record. What about you? You have a spot in mind, or is there?
Man,
you know what?
there's
Let me
so
ask you a
many.
different
Yeah.
question. So let me ask you a different question. So forget the studios. We can talk about the studios all day. Is there a place that you just have in mind? A place either that you've been or a place you want to go that you think that, man, the creative gods would just, bless you. You know, what is that place?
Ooh. I don't know. I got a good answer to that. I'll take the cop out here and say, Sunset Sound, iconic studio. Again, to your point, I'm sure the vibes there are just iconic, and there's, I don't know, a dozen of those studios you could probably name off the top of your head that you're like, okay, this is, whatever. I always thought it was interesting. I've seen cats, this is going to sound super weird, but acoustics are perfect in nature because it's infinite space. And so a lot of times, I don't know, perfect, maybe it's the wrong word, but you're not getting reflections, right? Because it's wide open space. In part, I think that's why concerts can sound like, to me, the bass drum on a drum kit at a concert is just so huge because it's mic'd up and it's going through these giants. It just nails you in the chest and it's so full and rich. I think I've seen really intense people put their instruments on a raft in the middle of a lake and record out there so they can get whatever. And I'm not saying I ever want to do that,
Right.
But setting up a portable studio in the woods somewhere and just having that vibe of nature, literally. I can't remember the, you know what? That'll be my answer too, is Rush, huge fan of Rush. They recorded their iconic albums at they're Canadian. So it was, oh my God, they named their studio. It's just terrible. I can't think of it. But in looking at the windows where they're recording, like some of those videos, it looks like you're just wide open space on the countryside behind you. And you're looking at that, but you've still got I think studios are some of the coolest places in the world. You just walk in, you see the boards, you see the gear, and you're like, I want to do something here.
I want to dive in. I want to see what we can create. And
so when you have a combination of that, because I'm not a huge fan of dark spaces to record and all of that. Like, I want that nature and stuff.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I mean, it depends. If it's, I got to get into my feels and I have to record at night and I want some dark, whatever, sure. But I think a lot of, I don't know. I'm going to stop rambling, but it was a long
I like
answer.
it. I like it. I like your rambles. Rush recorded 8 albums in a place called Les Studio. Or
Les Studio. That's probably
Studio.
why.
So, which is
they got real creative with that name.
That's like naming your dog DOG. It's fantastic. And I have met someone that literally named their dog DOG, which is hilarious. It's interesting. I think, I'm definitely different now than I was when I was in my 20s.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, thank God. Everybody's happy about that. Trust me, everyone. But I used to like recording like in the dark, place and whatnot. Didn't need a lot of windows. Let's get right to it. Let's go. Now, I want preferably clean studio space. I don't mind, some daylight. In fact, I like it. I just want to be comfortable. Things have changed so much. I remember, to be a vocalist back in the day, I always felt like in the studio, you were always standing. And I was like, man, I hate standing. That's like one other thing that I have to think about doing. And if we got multiple takes, I just want to sit down.
Wait, Toby.
No.
Toby.
Yep. Go ahead. I don't know.
You stand a good portion of your life. Are you thinking about it a lot?
Yeah,
do you think about walking? I'm starting to get worried about you a little bit.
You are talking about a man who's 51 with knees that are 132. I have no desire to stand longer than I have to.
That's
okay,
fair.
At all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my little hee is gonna sound like it's not gonna sound good. But then I saw later on there have been. I remember just like no, I'm sitting. Actually that's how I used to record a lot of my stuff back in the day. I'm at the desk. I'm doing this. I'm not gonna make myself stand. So that's just too much work. I'm
feeling bad about our Christmas song sessions now.
I was sitting,
buddy.
I was sitting. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, for a lot of it, I made sure of it. I made sure of it. Yeah. So, but I see so many other people now, so many artists that are seated now while singing. And I guess the only reason I'm saying that it's just important to know, how what's there to get the best you. What is it to get the best? Where do you have to be? What time do you want to record to get the best you? I remember an interview with Pusha T from Clips, and he was talking about recording, and he said that he loved to record during the day, and then when it got late, like if he doesn't have it down by 9 o'clock, he's like, it's over. I'm going to bed. Like that's it. It's a wrap. And other people are like, no, we're going to push. Like, I think it was Kanye. He's like, no, we're going to 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like, for weird. What, dude?
Yeah. Diminishing returns at that point.
Yeah. What are we doing? That's to me, that's just silly. Let's do it when we're fresh, when we're feeling good. And, like going to clubs and then coming back to record. I mean, at this age, I'm too tired. Like if I go to the club, if we're dancing, we're listening to some Harry Styles and we're dancing, I'm going to be exhausted by the time we get home. There's no recording getting done.
No recording. No. You'd be recording Toby snoring.
In the car, on the way home. That's exactly what you're getting.
All right, let's talk about the song itself. I have a take here.
Please.
And I'm going to, because I listened to this album a bunch. But I was listening, I was working at the office. I didn't have a good system there. So it was either just playing on whatever. And I pulled it up a couple nights ago in the speakeasy, and I just sat and I was like, all right, I want to give this full attention. And I think that we've got two things happening right now. People are not listening typically to songs on, you're listening on the earbuds or whatever. And so you're just not getting the full sonic spectrum. Fine. So I listened to a lot of the album. I was like, okay, whatever. And it wasn't until I listened to the song that I was like, there is so much going on in this song. It is gorgeous. There's so much depth and richness. And that's the other piece is artists have never had more access to create those sonic palettes. Oh my God. I love my girl Ray. I was listening to her new track. Well, her new single, the album comes out, this week, I think.
Was this like the millionth time or the millionth and one time?
Right.
That...
Easy. It was like the 978,000. So
not wrong.
Let's not exaggerate, all right? But this track, Click Clack Symphony, it's got Hans Zimmer. And again, Mai was home. Listened to it. Actually, we listened together in the car for the very first time.
Sure.
Mai was like, oh, this is going to be my banger for spring, right? And I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
I could totally see it. And it was a good song. And then I again, after I listened to Harry, I was like, I wonder what this Ray song sounds like. Oh my God, Toby. I mean, Hans Zimmer, for crying out loud, right? Like it's a song. So you've got these two competing things where you've got the ability to create these amazing masterpieces that have a richness and depth that we've never had access to before. And most people aren't even getting that because you're listening to it in these little earbuds or whatever, where you've got limited sonic bandwidth to even appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what all that means, but I guess mostly I'm encouraging people, just listen. If you really enjoy a track, no matter what it is, go check it out on the best system, whether it's in your car, whatever that is to you, like sit down and see if you can appreciate that, because you may hear something else.
I can't agree anymore. And you know what's beautiful is listening to a past song. I Alan Stone had come out with an album, and I listened to. I remember just like I was watching the game, and I just saw like the notification that came out with the album. I was like, I got to check this out. That's my dude. And at the time I just had my over the ear headphones with me. And I was like, you know what? Let me just listen to the whole thing, just sit here. And man, I cannot tell you, I haven't enjoyed an album like that in so long. And you know what it reminded me of? The albums, I had other opportunities to listen to the album. I heard maybe a song here, a song there, but to really, really fully appreciate it, the over-the-ear headphones with, noise canceling or whatever. And I'm just like in the music, and I felt like, wow, I had listened to this album before, but it never really hit me like this. And you know what it felt like? Wow, I've been living my life a certain way, and I never really took time to really enjoy it. Like listening with good headphones is like, it's like a perfect bite of music.
When you get a BLT and it's got the
everything.
Perfect ratio.
Yes. Everything.
It's the perfect bite.
It's the perfect
You get one
bite.
perfect bite per sandwich.
If that, especially if the sandwich is sloppy. If the sandwich is sloppy, the tomatoes all over the place, it's not happening.
That's true. If it's just
it's
sliding,
it's sliding everywhere. It's not happening.
It's no good.
But the way that musicians are now and how, skilled the mixes and the engineers are, they are sonically giving you a perfect bite with everything. There's nothing that's accidental. This is all intentional. And so, but a lot of people just don't get that far. They just, they
don't care, which is fine.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Is it? It's not fine.
It's not
I don't
fine.
think it's fine.
I'm being totally judgy. Do better, people.
I just feel like, I feel like when you see all the steps that people take to prepare food tastes better. Like it will taste better.
Made with love.
See all the steps. It's made with love. It's made with passion, made with all of that. Find a little history about it. It's like, man, I don't even like this type of food, but this is good. Like I see you and that's the whole thing. I think that wearing good headphones is like you're finally really seeing the artist. Leon Thomas is another really good one. Like you listen to like Vibes Don't Lie from that Mutt album with some good over-the-ear headphones. Man, listen. It's like a perfect Manhattan. This is like, what?
And I don't think it even, there are incredibly complex mixes. Like, go listen to Sleep Token, right? Which is still a band I love.
Oof.
And it's just epic in the way the craftsmanship.
Good pick.
But I also, I queued up The Door from Teddy Swims. And there's not it's not a ton of instrumentation, but it is just perfectly mixed to set his voice and that delightful grit he has in it. Like you feel like you're in the room listening to that man sing, and it's just when it's done well. It doesn't mean you're doing bells and whistles and tricks and all the things. It just means you're putting everything exactly where it needs to be to convey the feeling and emotion that needs to come with it. And if you really want to feel a song, forget about appreciating technical whatever. If you want to feel it in your bones, do yourself a favor and just find the best thing to listen to it on.
I can't agree more. Teddy's just got that voice. His voice is magical, but I think
so good.
I think like Olivia Dean's album, like that Wait a Minute song, like when you hear the strings come in, and like there are other songs, like I don't think people are giving her vocal stylings enough credit, because I think that Olivia is just
really?
Yeah,
not, because I feel like she's the it girl right now.
She is. She's most definitely the it girl, and that's a lot of the reason why she's getting some of the hate that she is getting. Like I've heard people compare music to like elevator music. It's boring. It's just, I'm like, wait, sacrilege, dude, sacrilege. People gotta hate.
Yeah, people gotta hate.
If you really listen to her, man, woof, she's very she knows her voice really, really well, like really, really, really well. And she knows her voice so well that she can control the direction. Like, so she knows her vocal compass and she knows exactly which direction she wants to point in. And that is, I think it's a beautiful thing. Like, I've literally, like, there's a song that she has and she's literally, like, there's one note, and I don't want to be super technical, but it's off, but it is intentional to me. Like, it sounds intentional, like it's off. It's like it's not like that. But for the song that she was singing and for this emotional part of the song, it completely makes sense. Like, okay.
Because it's off.
It's off.
It's the emotional beat that it corresponds to.
It's off, and it's just like, oh, man. What am I trying to say? We've talked about Harry Styles, Olivia Dean, and Ray. British, is that what we're saying right now? Is that what we're saying?
I think it is.
My God.
There's a laundry list. Yeah.
Dude,
talent
after talent. Yeah. I'm telling you. If it wasn't for, like, Leon Thomas, what's my other dude's name? Leon... What's my guy's name?
Leon Lett? Oh, wait, no, that's...
No, not Leon Lett. You got a lot of nerve. The guy who sings with...
Leon Bridges.
Leon Bridges, yeah.
I just had to throw you off track there a little bit.
You did a really good job. So if it wasn't for those guys, and, granted, there's others as well. There's plenty, I guess.
There's talent everywhere.
There's talent everywhere, but it feels like, for my soul right now, it just feels like these guys are really kicking. Is that Ray song, that click clacks? Stop it. Stop it.
I cannot wait for this album. I think it releases on my birthday, or...
wonderful.
It's basically
happy birthday to you, sir.
Or actually, if it releases on Friday, which is, I don't know if you know this, but March 27th is National Joe Day. So I feel like...
Yeah, you told me this last year. I remember.
Of course I told you that. I'm going to tell you every year, Toby. I have a day dedicated to me.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, at least have some coffee, in my honor.
You know what? I'm going to introduce a new term for us. I want us to celebrate our shared birthday. Our birthdays are exactly 6 months apart.
Yeah.
You're 3:30. I am 9:30. I think that's 6:30.
Oh, done.
June 30th is...
Stop it.
That is our shared birthday time. I've been thinking about this for years. I've just never thought we should absolutely celebrate that day. I'm declaring it right now. That is we got to call it something. Was it Teen Joby birthday? We got to come up with something.
Listeners,
Joby's birthday. Joby's
National
birthday.
Joby Day.
Joby Day. That's it.
I love it. Also, fun fact, listeners, hopefully nobody actually has our Social Security numbers, but the numbers in Toby and I's Social Security numbers are the exact same in different order.
That's insane.
Isn't it insane?
That is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. The only thing we need now is for our license plate numbers to be very eerily similar, and that would just be like, okay, that means, like, we're running to the closest church available. Like, we need prayer, like, immediately. I think we got a direct line to God to
Speaking of prayer, Toby, I want to ask you a question here.
Please.
I'm sitting at work today, and I'm looking, and the office building across the way has got a peaked roof, and there's two vultures sitting up there just hanging out, and I was like, that's a bad portent right there, right? Like, just hanging out. And then, Toby, I didn't want to actually confirm this, but I'm about 99% certain that they started mating.
Oh,
and I was like, is this a good portent? Is this, like, what kind of sign? I don't know what to make of this. So again, listeners, if you've got some thoughts on what this could mean.
Oh my God.
I'm very curious, because I feel like this could go a lot of ways.
Yikes. Well,
all right. And that's time to close the aperture. Just lock that right down.
Close the aperture, please. No more light. We don't need any light on this subject. We're good. Good song by Harry. I'm very curious to see what his next single is going to be, and curious to see what the next video is going to be as well. And I think that if he continues on this path, and there's nothing saying that he won't, that he'll be standing on several stages, collecting awards, and
100%.
people pay attention. What's really good is that you have really, 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 really popular artists making songs like this, like just not cashing it in.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the trend continues.
What?
Yeah, I'm hoping that the trend continues, especially for the next for the next couple songs they decide to come out with. So good stuff.
Good stuff. All right, listeners, let you in on some interesting tidbits coming your way. So going back a couple of episodes, we had done the Marias. No one noticed.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. Yep.
And so once it clears all of the things, because it's a cover, that will be released on listening platforms. So please check that out when it hits your. Go look for the Silver Foxes. Just Silver Foxes on Spotify or whatever, and give that a listen along with the other stuff. Although Christmas song might not be relevant right now.
It's always relevant.
It's true. Sometimes. Right around our shared birthday, when we're close to a Christmas in July, we can crank that one back up. Yeah. And tell them about the socials and get us out of here.
Yeah, so socials, you can catch us on Facebook, Riffs on Riffs. Same thing with Instagram as well. Really would appreciate you guys liking us. Of course, please really check us out on YouTube, and we're on YouTube
subscribe,
as well. So
hit the like buttons and whatever things you do on those.
Do all the things and let us know how you're feeling and your opinion on things and what songs you suggest that we should do and review next. With that, we say peace, huzzah, and thank you so much for listening.
I'm Bruce Martin, host of Pit Pass Indy. Each week, I go behind the scenes of the NTT IndyCar Series and introduce our listeners to the biggest stars of IndyCar, which features the Indianapolis 500 as its cornerstone event. The men and women that compete in IndyCar may be the bravest athletes in all of sport, as danger lurks around every corner. They are able to look danger in the eye without flinching. That is why the NTT IndyCar Series features the best racing on the planet. Join me every week as we talk to the stars of IndyCar, including the legends of the Indianapolis 500 on Pit Pass Indy from Evergreen Podcast.